And you know what? The greatest investment is not just stocks and shares and things of that nature, which is okay. It's part of investment. But the greatest investment is personal development. Because when you start to invest in yourself, you become an asset that becomes irreplaceable. And what you do, what you provide becomes tangible.
Hello and welcome to Uncovered, the podcast with your host, Jason Irving. Join me in a journey to understand what's truly happening in your world and the world around you. This is not about how you're living life on the surface. It's about what's truly driving you from under the covers. I'm going to take you on a journey to deeply uncover the reason why you are here, the ultimate purpose in your problems, and the way that they have shaped your life up until now. See, I believe you have a purpose, and your problems are the highway towards ultimate realization of that journey towards freedom and the reconnection of your true self. I've been told I have a different spin on most things, and I'll be giving you my understanding of life, love, and what we're all here for, purpose. To get the best out of this podcast, drop what you already know so you can discover what's beyond you. So join me, let's play this game of life and bring on liberation, transformation, and change. Let's do this. Hey guys, welcome to Uncovered. I'm really excited. I've got this amazing man. He actually, we met on the off chance. I sent him a message, hey, or my assistant Philia sent a message out to Gez and it said, hey, could I be on his podcast? I jumped on yours and we had such an amazing vibe together. And I was just like, I've got to have him on mine. So Gez, welcome to Uncovered.
Thanks, Jace. It is an honor to be on your show. And your podcast show is amazing, really life-changing, moving mountains, and a lot of breakthroughs along the way. So, man, I'm awesome to be here. It's great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and look, this is what I love about you, because, look, there are people that I've met, and I'm just going to be really transparent. You're a natural positive vibe, right? Right? You had, and most people are faking it that I've seen. But when I got to meet you, I was like, he's no fake. He's actually got a positive connection that I've not seen a lot of people actually embody. Usually it's all hype in the front and on the back end it's a mess. But I got to actually really experience Gez in a zone of genius that a lot of people are putting on a tomfoolery. And that's why I was so excited to get you on mine, because I want to know your backstory right now. But I'm just so impressed because you are the thing that everybody is looking for, in my opinion. I got to see a positive truth, not a positive vibe, a positive truth. And this is so different in this day and age, because right now we can't really trust whether people are being real or not. Would you agree, Gez?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's authenticity, and that's what people really need. Not the fake stuff, not the things that you've heard and you do, but it's the actual experience and having that right intention of heart. And I think that's the podcast episode that we had together, and to see how your heart operates. And it's all about, having the right intention, speaking value, that you actually genuinely care for people. And that's the reason why you are very successful, Jason, in your industry, is because you've got that heart for people and you want to help them genuinely. And I think that's the authenticity that people are missing right now. It's that rawness, and you speak truth and nothing but the truth. And that's why people experience their breakthrough, is because you've got the right intention and heart. And Jason, you've been phenomenal. And I'm so glad that we're able to connect at this level. And it's without the hype. It's authenticity all the way.
Yeah, 100%. So can we get a little bit of a backstory about Gez, who he is, what he's about, where he's come from, and who is this man that we're talking to right now?
Yeah, definitely. So my name is Gez Perez, author, podcaster of Motivation Without the Hype. And my backstory is, I was in a corporate world for many years, as you were as well, Jason, in the IT industry. And it's a blue collar, carrot driven type of culture. And I was stressed to the core. So even for me, I didn't have any certain personal development, nor did I have any type of insight that you can actually become the better version of yourself. And I said to myself, you know what, when I hit 30 years old, I'm going to hit a 6-figure income in my corporate career. And leading up to that event, I was overweight, hated my job, stressed to the core, And at that time, I was on the verge of getting married. Before that, and my fiance said, "Jez, you got to let go of this job. If not, you're gonna lose me." And so I was driven by bad habits. And not only that, but it's at the same token, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer at the time. Right now, she's loving life, kicking goals, and she's alive to this day.
Yeah,
And
wow.
it's that resiliency of holding on to her life, but more importantly, that she was purpose driven. So you know what? I've got more to give. I've got more life to live in my journey. And prior to that, it was just all downhill. And I was, and it all played an effect where not I was overweight, but the transformation that really happened to me is when I was walking towards work, and I was overweight, and I was close to 100 kilos at the time. My heart was pulsating, my ankles were sore, and I was halfway through the stairs walking to the station. And what has happened is I had a mild symptom heart attack, and I was just stuck there for 5 minutes. And it was just the most excruciating pain. I was stuck, didn't know what to do. Heart was pulsating, short breath, and ankles were swollen. And it was that pivotal moment. I said, you know what? I got to change my life now. And I didn't know what to do. I was like pissing myself because I was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to do this. But I made that conscious choice and decision that I need to change my life. So it wasn't, I should do this. It was more of a must. And so I went to the station, went through to work. I'm like, oh my goodness, how am I going to do this? So after that, I came back from work. I went to the news agents and I said, you know what, I need to take immediate action. I got a men's health magazine. I said, I got to find someone. And I didn't know the power of visualization, didn't know about a bar or soap, but I said, you know what, I need to have someone. So I looked at men's health magazine and I said, yep, this guy's great. Bought the magazine, went home. I cut this picture out. I cut my fat head, placed it on the door with this six-pack abs guy, right? And every single day I would look at this person of my fat face, not to mention that I had bad eating habits. I'm telling you right now. So because I had stress eating disorder where I just kept on eating breakfast, I would eat breakfast. And then before going to work, I'll have, you know, sausage and egg McMuffin meal with a large coffee. If I didn't have that, I'll have Krispy Kreme donuts. And that would be every morning.
That's
and then on the
amazing.
top, yeah, on top of and on top of that, I would have bullet choc chip vanilla ice cream every night. So I'll have ice cream, and I'm talking about every single night for dinner. And that was my bad habit, just running through that.
Wow.
And then I said, you know what? I got not only got to change my life, I got to find someone. I found, said, you know what? I didn't have any personal development. All I said, so I look at this picture and I needed help. I let go of the ego. I said, you know what? In order for me to change, I need to be in the right type environment. I got a personal trainer, invested in a nutritional coach. And you know what? The greatest investment is not just stocks and shares and things of that nature, which is okay. It's part of investment. But the greatest investment is personal development. Because when you start to invest in yourself, you become an asset that becomes irreplaceable. And what you do, what you provide becomes tangible results, right? And
Yeah.
so within 16 weeks, while my mom was diagnosed with cancer, she written to the doctors and says, I'm going to take natural therapy. And through that resilience, I took that on board and said, you know what, if my mom can do this, I can do it as well. And then from that 16 weeks, I transformed myself. I lost 30 kilos in the process. Someone challenged, Jez, you wouldn't compete. I competed as a fitness model, went on stage, and that was the journey of coaching. I said, man,
Wow.
if I only can, if I can get results, people can get results as well. And then I realized, Jason, that success never happens, right, by chance. It happens by choice. Your
Okay.
results, your outcome does not happen by chance. It happens by choice. It's that decision. So those who are listening and watching this podcast show, today is your day for your breakthrough, because you're not going to just wait till next week. You can have it right now, because the choices that you make today, that decision is going to determine your future. You got to speak to your future, and your future will come to you. You got to make that choice right now. As you listen to this podcast show, say, you know what? I'm listening to Jason's podcast show, and I'm going to make that change. I'm going to get my phone. I'm going to call right now, Wellness Breakthrough. I'm going to get some help. Because if you're listening right now, you take action. I'm telling you, you're going to have your breakthrough as we speak. And so that's what happened. I made that constant decision change, and the flow effect happened. And that's when coaching journeys had happened for me. And then I started to say, you know what? There's a simpler way in actually you can actually get your breakthrough. And so that was my journey for me. Through that, my mom's still living, she's kicking life, she's loving life, and she's alive to this day because of her mental toughness and resiliency to say, you know what, there's more to life than this. And now she's living life. And this is where I'm here today with this grateful heart to be on your podcast show, Jason.
Oh my God. Like, look, this is the thing with you, Gez, is that I'm going to tell you how I'm feeling right now, right? My whole body, because I'm a real feeler. I feel everybody. I have a look in everyone's eyes and I can call bullshit. I'm so good at calling all the bullshit on people.
Yeah.
My whole body is tingling like I'm a Christmas tree in the Christmas time. Everything
Come on.
up, right? And so what I'm getting to experience from you, Gez, is your form of coaching, right? So your form of coaching is, as you said, motivational. You're a motivational coach, and you've got, so what I've got to experience from your story is actually your way to create momentum with people. And I feel like I've got to go and do an Olympic marathon right now, because I'm hearing what you do.
Yeah.
You're incredible, because I feel like saying yes. And I don't even know what I'm saying yes to right now. You've got this thing that actually, let's talk about this, your magic, which is motivational coaching.
Yep.
Let's talk about, like you said, there's 3 steps or 3 pillars, if I'm right or wrong.
Yep, that's correct.
Can you tell us about what that is and what that means? Because you've just sort of turned me into a Christmas tree right now. So I'm just gonna keep listening while I get your vibe.
So now that you've
right now, so go for it.
You know what, Jace? I know you're having that finger tingling, and you know what? If you're saying yes, say yes now and work out the how later. So, so there are about 3 pillars in order for you to get your breakthrough. And it's like how you mentioned about the hype, motivation. People grab that and they are motivated now, and then we all know that you're probably not going to be motivated tomorrow. And so there's a take on people not taking serious about motivation and inspiration and really taking action. It's because they feel that, it's just a fluff. But there's a different take to it, because we've got to understand why people don't take motivation. Why are they not motivated at all? And there are about 3 pillars, and that's going to support why we need to be motivated. And at the end of the day, whether you feel like it or not, it's a decision at the end of the day. You got to decide right now. And so moments ago, we talked about making a decision right now. If you want that results in your life, in your career, or in your business, it's to take out the procrastination and make that choice right now. And it's that conscious decision to say, yep, I'm doing it. And you put that proper, steps in place. And we talked about it in our podcast show, Jason. You mentioned about the mindset, and that's the first pillar. But that mindset stems through, what are your belief system? And I'll make it real simple for the listeners and viewers of your podcast show is, yep, you need that mindset, but it's that value system. It's that belief system, right? And we got to do those exercises. And you did mention about, Jason, about this 6-week sprints, right? About how you coach your clients. And yeah, we need to have that inner discovery. We need to have that self-awareness. And when you are self-aware, that's when you actually get ownership of taking over your life, right? So we work through our mindset. And so, like, for example, with my body transformation, I had to visualize myself, but I had to do some digging. Said, what am I doing right now that's giving me some bad habits? And I had to dig deeper to find, okay, what are my belief system? How important is this to me right now? What am I tolerating? Right? And so what is my environment? Is there anyone that's actually supporting my personal growth? But again, it's that conscious choice and decision. Say, I'm going to make that choice, but I'm going to build upon it. What are my belief systems? Right? What's the mindset I'm actually bringing? So we deal with that mindset, right? And then the second pillar is, what are the skill set? So you have the mindset, awesome, and we go through the belief system and you go through that internal work, but the skill set is another important element. Is, what are your vision? That vision is what you see. And not many people run blindly in wanting their breakthroughs, right? Because, and I know in your coaching, Jason, you say, what do you feel like? What do you see like? What do you see? And you're future pacing yourself. That's why I say you got to speak to your future so your future can come to you. Because when you speak it out, everything in your being will be connected to what you are saying, right? And so, and I'm not being religious here, right? God says, let there be light, right? I'm not being, it's not being in a spiritual context, but Adam was created, right? And so God didn't say, hey, Adam, create a table. No, he didn't. There was a resource there, right? So again, out of the context of spirituality, but God is the creator. We are his creation, but we are creative. So we create things. Come on. We create things. And so God didn't say, hey, Adam, make a table. No, he had a resource and then through his creativity created something that was beautiful. So how do we use this analogy as a story? Whatever you have right now, you have the power of potential to come things into pass, but what you say and what you do and come into that being. Come on. That's why I said speak to your future and your future will come to and come into the existence. And so this vision, people don't have any clarity, right? They don't have any certainty. And this is the reason why they don't have any confidence. If you want confidence in yourself, you got to have clarity and that certainty. So vision is important. That's why you got to see it. That's why vision boards are important. If you're visually awesome, you can study awesome as well. But you got to have that vision for your life, in your career, in your business. And then on that skill set is the mission, right? When we think about people who are in war, people who are soldiers, right? When they have a mission, their mission is to completion. How many of us have we experienced in life where we have a mission, but we don't even complete anything because it's not important? And this is the reason why people fail in their goals is because they don't have that self-belief. When you put a New Year's resolution, it's like, oh yeah, I'll put a New Year's, but bar over soap that you're not going to complete it. You're not going to complete it, right? And again, it's that mindset, it's that internal self-belief, right? And the tools and things that, like yourself, Jason, that you do with your clients, there's certain strategies that we work upon ourselves, get that self-awareness and make things happen. So we need that vision, we need that mission, but we also need that goals, right? So we find out ways of what are the gaps that I'm missing in my life that I know that I need to complete, right? So if I put an example as my body transformation, I need a coach. I need to invest myself. I need to work out. I need to get the right type of tools for me to achieve what I need to get in 16 weeks, right? And then the third part is really, is taking action. But it's not just taking action, it's a decision. So how do we support those three pillars? There's 6 Ds that I want to share with you. Just real quick core principles. Number one is you got to have a desire. So you need to have a desire. But let's go back to why people are not motivated. Well, number one is the reasons are not big enough. If you don't have a bigger reason, let me tell you, you may put a goal on Monday, but you're not going to do it, right? Because your reasons are not big enough and it's not going to motivate. Number two is situations. We put ourselves in situations that we are not even set up for success, right? Zig Ziglar quotes, and it says that success occurs when preparation meets opportunity. When you prepare yourself, when you prep up yourself through what you do, through meditation, through mindset, through whatever it may be, that you have a set guidelines for the entire week, and you set yourself for success without any excuses, then you're on your path, motivation without the hype. And thirdly, why you're not motivated is because you haven't decided yet. Because you're not confident enough to make that decision. This is the reason why people are not motivated, because you haven't made a choice yet. It's like, yeah, I'm there, but yeah, right? So and again, it all stems through our belief systems, that self-inner core of who we are. But let me tell you, when you find who you are as a person, and you know that you got the power of potential, sky's the limit for you, 100%. Right? Because you make that choice of decision, say, you know what, I don't want to be where I am now. I know where I'm going to become. Yeah.
And listeners, this is so important what Gez is saying, because look, one of the things in personal development, there's two types of people there's a few, but I'm going to just talk about two types of people here. There's the Gez and the Jason. And so the Gez and the Jason, what they do is we have problems. Mm-hmm. Don't let the problems overcome us. We overcome them. And by just making a simple decision.
Yes.
And then what a lot of people do in personal development is they dig the awareness, they dig it out of the ground, and they have a look at it and they go, let's dig some more awareness.
Yeah.
And they keep digging, and then they end up digging all the way to the other side of the earth, and have done nothing but dig. And there's a major problem in personal development. Would you agree that too much digging and not enough action is the actual problem? And I've seen this so many times with people. I'm just like, just do something. Like, oh no, I can't because I have to dig and find out another problem. And they're actually addicted to the problems. And it's all an excuse.
Yes.
Do you agree?
I'm just bent. And the lens is they magnify the problem so much that they become depressed themselves.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why, remember, Jason, we talked about in our podcast show about acknowledging, right? You know, yes, I'm not feeling well. You acknowledge it, right? But it's not going to overpower you.
No.
And that's the problem with people is that, or some challenges is that they amplify it so much that they can't even see a solution, right? And that's why we got to acknowledge it. If we make a mistake, cool, we acknowledge it, but we move on, because every problem, every challenge is inevitable, but it's how we manage it and mitigate it to overcome it at the same time. Would you agree?
100%. And I think this is so essential, listeners, is that if you look at successful people, they have something very much in common, which is they're really good. They look at something and they go, we have a vision, but we don't know whether we're going to get to it. What we do when we're going towards it is we go, okay, I've made a decision to go with that vision. So I'm going to take some action and see how far we get. And then if something gets a roadblock, we find a way to get around it.
Yeah.
So the roadblocks are always going to be there, but it's our attitude. This is what I love about you. You have an amazing attitude to problems, right? So no problem gets in the way. They are the way. And I think you just throw some amazing bombs in here around how you think, like to your future, so your future can come to you. Like, think about this, listeners. Speak to it every day. And I talk about this. Become the person now. So you think that way, how you want your future to be. And it's not faking it. It's actually embodying it. And this is why we need coaches like you, Gez. We need people like yourself who are on the path to help motivate. And you've helped motivate 7-figure income earners, same with me, and they've done everything, and you help them pull out of the fire when they've already achieved.
Yes. And there's so many people that I've coached that who are already high performers, but they they have that missing element. They're really great action takers, right? But it's the mindset and how they embody that and say, you know what, Gez, I'm not feeling fulfilled. You know, I've got money in my bank, $7 to $8 figures, but I just don't fulfilled enough, right? So that's what we had to really rewire, and really reverse engineer and really think about, all right, well, what's giving fulfillment, right? Because, and again, the 5 pillars of life really is love, health, wealth, happiness, and your spiritual life. And out of the 5, it could be a bit of an imbalance, right? So we got to find where we can find that balance that gives us more meaning and fulfillment. So there's nothing wrong in doing your corporate job, just as long as it gives you fulfillment and you're making a difference. Whether you are full-time in business, just as long you are fulfilled and it gives you meaning and you're making a difference, right? So wherever you are in the world, we don't need to fit on somebody else's shoes. We just need to do what gives us more happiness and fulfillment and rock at it and do amazing out of it and create a dent in the world. Right. So it's all about just unpacking. And you said your inner genius. Everyone has that inner genius. But when you unpack that, you become unstoppable. Right. So the six core principles under these 3 categories. Yep. You got to have a desire. So you got to find out what's important to you. Right. That purpose. Right. That mission and vision. The second D is not only that you have a desire. Right. But then you need to come with a decision. Right. So what is those decisions? Right. And this is the reason why we got to decide right now. So we got a desire, right? We making a decision. We got to be disciplined, right? Discipline comes with habits, right? You're great. You do what, you set things up, but if you're not disciplined, and if you think about every successful person on the face of the earth, they've got some triggers of discipline. Right? Some certain things that they go into routine And we've heard this principle before. Success always leads to good, right? So if they're doing a certain metric or a certain way of doing things to get a result, and if we do the exact same thing, we're going to get the exact same pattern. However, we all created differently. So we need to operate in our own geniuses, right? And do what works for us. A lot of the people is like, yeah, I'll follow you. I'm not getting, because we're all made differently, right? We're all wired differently. And so we need to find our inner genius so we can become unstoppable. So we come with discipline. And then after that is really that determination. It's that attitude, because you cannot teach character or attitude, right? It comes within it. And if you build character, you build integrity, you build the best human possibility of adding value in the lives of others, you're going to become very successful. And I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about all facets of life. Because think about it. You can have all the money in the world, but then your marriage is on the brink of disaster. You may have a fantastic marriage, but then your health is suffering, right? And so we need to find that inner balance that gives us more meaning or happiness, right? Because success has different flavors and factors around it. But if you can live your life knowing that you wake up in the morning fulfilled, living your passion, whatever it may be, but you're becoming the best of who you are and what you're meant to be, man, then motivation will never be an issue, because a motivation is always a decision. It's not the feeling, right? Feelings come and go. But if you're decided, doesn't matter. You will succeed at anything in life.
I love you. I think
Come on.
I think I might have a man crush. Hey, mate, I'm not gay, but if I was going to convert, I'd choose you. I'm loving this. Quite often when I get to talk to people who aren't in our academy, and I see problems and all of those sorts of things in front of my eyes.
Yeah,
we all have them. You've just got. You're just something else, Gez. You just. I'm inspired. That's I guess the word that I can say when I'm hearing your voice and my Christmas tree lights around my body lighting up like crazy is awe. Like, you have something that is awe-inspiring inside of you, Gez. I can't really describe. All I can say is I'm a Christmas tree with the lights on, just going flash, flash, flash now, because you're not just a talker. Right. And I'm really good at catching talkers. I'm actually hearing a motivational applier.
Yeah.
And so would you suggest that I might be a little bit right in saying that you walk the talk with your clients? Like, you don't just sit there and tell them what they need to do, and you don't do those things with them?
Oh man, it's impossible to not even do that. I mean, like, you do a disservice. Right. And I think this is the reason why, when you, not only that you take action for yourself, but everything in your whole being, your physiology connects to your psychology. Everything inside of you exuberates not just confidence, but that certain belief. Right. I can't coach if I've not experienced myself. I can't show the pathway if I have not gone through the hard yards. Right. And we've seen so many coaches, and by the way, the batches that I've been, they're about 52 my coach many years back. I'm the only one standing. I'm the one who's continuing on. It's because the attention and the is at the right of the heart, right? It's you want to do the right thing by the right people. But if you're there to get money, I'm telling you right now, you're not going to succeed. But if you're there to add value, because money is always attached to value. Money is always attached to the things that you want to do. That's a good thing. You want to see people breakthroughs in their life, and your money's always attached to that. Money's always attached to value. But if you got the right mindset, and I remember a millionaire mentor of mine said, Gez, I've just started my coaching. I said, what's your secret of success? You've done, what's the secret formula? Right? Because Gez, it's not just the money. It's, do you actually really care for somebody for their breakthrough? And that was it. So you're telling me I spent $300 just for a coffee sit down with this guy, and that's all I get. And then I came home like, what is he really saying?
Yeah.
I changed my business model immediately. Everything that I've seen in the coaching world is all about, yep, you can make money, all that good stuff. But if you don't take care of the heart stuff, you're not going to last very long. because it takes a certain resiliency, takes certain toughness. And when rubber meets the road, you're going to keep on going. You're going to keep on fighting. Right. And myself and you, Jace, with COVID, we're able to pivot. Why?
Yeah.
It's because, we acknowledge those problems, but the problems are never going to defeat us. Right. In every situation, there's always a purpose for that. It's either we rise above it and conquer it, or we face it and we just run away with it. Right. But for us, it's not about facing our problem. It's all about, well, how do I overcome that, learn from it, and move forward? Right. We have this certain knack of pursuit. It's like it comes, it's okay. We acknowledge it. It's just going to be off our shoulders. Right. And it's not only just the digging work, but it's all about, hey, how do I align myself to know that, people are also human beings. People have feelings and emotions. Well, how do I align that so I can actually really genuinely help them? And that's the core essence. I can't train or teach someone who I've never experienced myself. And I don't have, it's not about making money out of it. It's about, how do I still bless them? How do I still, if I'm and there's so many times in coaching where I've got so many shortages in my finances, but all of a sudden I always get my breakthrough. It's like, oh my goodness, I'm having a short month. I've actually tripled. And you don't realize it's because you're so focused on helping others first.
Yeah. And I think this is really essential. And I guess this is why I'm getting the Christmas tree tingles, is because your motivation is sitting there. And look, listeners, we're not disregarding money. It's just there's a law, and you did speak about God and spirituality a little bit. There's actually a law in these concepts called the law of cause and effect.
Yes, correct.
And so and you know this, yeah? So the cause is we service our clients. We look after our clients, and the effect on the back end is money return.
Yes.
And that's how you and I focus. We actually focus on our cause, our why, and our determination, our discipline and our decision making.
Yes.
To actually follow through with our desires.
Yes.
To make sure that we are being accountable and modeling the behavior that we would like our clients to see.
Absolutely.
So then on the back end is the result of financial reward for that.
Yes, correct.
So there are people who are really good at money for money, and they can say, I want money and I'll get money on the back end. And then there's more people like us who go, I have to focus on the cause, and then the money comes on the back end.
Yes.
Right? And what we've noticed, and I've had this with quite a few people who go money for money, they feel like there's a hole in their heart. Mm-hmm. And they're the ones, the high achievers, that they come and see us and they go, what do I do? I'm not happy. And I've made all of this stuff, but I'm not happy.
Yes.
And then we have to pin them back to say, hey, let's get some cause here.
Yes.
Your cause was money. Your effect was money.
Come on.
It never made you happy.
Yes. Spot on.
Yeah. And so how do we...
Virtual high five.
Yeah, exactly. So we know what's happening. Both of us are in a complete alignment. This is why we had such a good chat last time.
Yeah.
And that's the really important thing. So we've got number 4, determination. What's after that?
Well, really, it's just continuing on. It's development. It's really just non-stop development. So that's the last day. Is you got to develop yourself. I mean, like, yeah, we're coaches, but we're still learners.
Yeah.
We don't just stop there. We grow. We constantly grow. There's no stopping us from growing. We need to absorb. We need to learn. We need to inspire. But at the same time, we need to continue to. It's like the river. No? It's like, endless river, right? We need to get more of the intake so we can flow, right? But it's like if you want to bless someone or you want to really inspire somebody, right? You just don't give it at a closed fist, right? Because what you get is nothing. But if you're able to open your hand and you give, there's going to be constant flow that continues to happen non-stop, whether it's developing with yourself or helping with others. But when you have that openness, man, it becomes like a tsunami, right? It's just overflow. I call it overflow. Yeah. And so, development constantly.
Yeah. And look, this is one thing I want to point out to you, and this is a discussion that we're going to have right now around this, is that there's this thing called experience, right? And quite often when people say they've got 10, like I started in 1998, so I have 24 years experience working with people. It's quite a number of years, and most people are dead and buried. They don't have a business after 24 years. 10 years, 90% of businesses are gone, right? So there's this thing called experience. And what I think people do, and you tell me if I'm wrong, is that when you get experience, you can end up stopping the learning-based leadership, and you end up a closed fist within yourself, and you say, I'm the expert. And the moment you actually put yourself in the expert,
come on,
stop learning. You actually have buried yourself. And I've seen a lot of buried leaders. And they go, this is what I share, this is what I do. And they put their niche in, and they've forgotten that they're learning-based leaders. So they end up giving their thing. And this is quite often where we can lose our traction, because if we think we become the expert, the moment we do that, we feel soulless, in my opinion. What do you think about this, Gez?
Well, it's 100%, because if you place yourself in a lid and you say, yeah, like you just mentioned as well, that closed fist, people put themselves at that threshold and that's it. But that should not be the case. We are learning-based leaders. And I think we need to open ourselves even more. And I think that's the problem. It's like they've put themselves in that situation and they can't even grow themselves. And I think that's the problem, is like, yeah, I'm an expert, but it's also that ego. It's that pride.
Yeah.
And when you have ego and pride, there's no certain gratitude. When you are grateful and you have gratitude, there's no place for eagerness at all. And so, yes, I'm a learner-based leader, but at the same token, I've got the character and attitude of gratitude.
Yeah.
And that's when you close yourself as expert, all that runs is through pride. And you're not able to grow at all, because you've got that ego trip, I know it all. And then all of a sudden, you're pretty much well behind of everybody else because we can be in this industry for many years, we've got the experience, but yeah, we come in a place of gratitude. We come to a place of, wow, this is an opportunity for me. Every day is an opportunity. Every day is for me to learn and grow, because I've got gratefulness. When you have that and you realign yourself with an act of gratitude, overflow starts happening. You come out of there in that meditation, you come out of with this gratitude in your heart, and then opportunity starts to come, right? Because you create that opportunity. People wait for the opportunity. Man, I don't wait for it. I create it, but I need to come to a place of gratitude, because I know that, hey, I need to come with humbleness, right? I need to come with hustle and heart, but I know that when I come and connect with someone, they connect with me because I've got that genuineness and authenticity, and they feel it, right? I'm not there to make money and have that different agenda.
Yeah.
But it's the right type of intention of this connection with them. And that's the missing element.
Yeah, I love that. And I think this is so important, because in this day and age, we don't know whether we can trust anyone. And that's the truth. So, when you said yes to me about jumping on your podcast, you didn't know me from a bar of soap. You just said yes, and let's give this a shot. I could have been the biggest dickhead in the world.
Yeah.
And we didn't know each other, but you said yes, and then I got to meet you, and I had an instant belief in what you do and how you are and who you are. And this comes down, listeners, to feeling in your heart and knowing that a lot of the time I've been burnt. I don't know about you, Gez, but I remember I paid $25,000 for a service from an amazing business coach who gave me $25,000 worth of down the toilet
debt.
And so there are people, you could pay a big price point for a service and think the more you pay, the better you're going to get. It's not always the case.
Yes.
Right. And I think this is really important. People can spout off how much money they're making and how they do all of these things. At the end of the day, it's not going to make you happy. Money doesn't. It gives you more choice. That's the thing that gives you more choice.
Absolutely.
More options.
Yes.
What you've got to think about is what's going to actually give you that, decision, desire, and development is a key component. And I was talking to some people about this, Gez, and you might agree or not, might not, is that a lot of people put development on the back burner. I'll do that later until we've had a massive meltdown, and then people come and find us, right? So it's a choice that people don't make when they're in a positive space. They
Yes.
quite often make it when they've completely lost themselves and they have to make that choice to go
Yes.
and find someone a lot of the time. Have you
Yes. And
found that?
yeah, all the time. I think clients are reactive in a way where, oh, I'll put that aside. Um, but that shouldn't be the case because you lose time. Time is the essence, right? And so you would rather propel to the next level, go through your sprints hardcore, right? And still have this development at the same time. So you work simultaneously, you learn, grow, and do, right? You still work on your inner parts, which is fine, but you're at a higher velocity, right? But if you don't, and you don't put this as that's why the greatest investment is really personal development, right? Because you create an asset within yourself that anything that you do comes to results, right? You just wired that way. That's why we need to have personal development as our journey, not just reactive process where when things hit the fan, you go back, but you lose time,
Yeah.
right? And that's the reason why people, and it's just when you know that you're striving for something within 12 months, but it's just more of a reactive process, anything can just fall, right? You can just crack and that's it. And then you lose momentum, right? We need momentum, but the only way we can do that is at a higher velocity. We need personal development. We need personal growth. We need mentors. We need coaches by our side. We need to invest in that. We need to be part of a networking group that supports our growth. So that way you're protected. The voices that you hear, the people that you adhere to is rock solid with the right intention. And then you're going to be solid along the way. But if you do things on your own and you pit pot away and you become reactive, you lose momentum,
100%.
right? And you got to pick up the ball again. You got to pick up the ball again. You know how tired that is?
Oh, it sucks.
It's energy draining. You want to eliminate as much as possible so you can still go at a velocity rate where you need to be.
That's exactly right. So what I'm hearing is personal development is stuckness prevention.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that word.
So
Yes.
it's a way that you can prevent your stuckness, health prevention, mental health prevention, all of the things, because we don't do prevention, we do reaction based. Oh, I've got a headache, I better take a pill, right? But you haven't had your water, you haven't had your exercise, you haven't had your time to meditate.
Correct.
So you get your headache, take the pill, and then you move on instead of actually preventing a major migraine and a potential disease in the future by preventing your journey from being stuck in the first place and having that an elongated time of difficulty.
Yes. Spot on.
Yeah, I love that. And
I love it too.
Listeners, this is a cry out for both of us, because we want, and I'm this is my passion. I want personal development for coaching to be number one priority first, as opposed to let's make the money and get it right, and actually make that the priority in this world. Because if we were making one choice, one decision, one action, and getting where we wanted to go, and we were doing that based on our big why, we've got the desire, we've got the discipline, the determination, and the desire that all of that is going on, this world would be a far better place to live in.
Yes. 200%.
Yeah. And so if we could do that, and rounding right back to where you started was awareness is the key, and personal development is the lock. So we have to actually go and find the key to a certain lock, which happens to be a mentor like you, and go and put that key into the lock and find out what's behind that door.
Yes.
And when we do, it's so interesting. I see a lot of people go into personal development. We go into the problems that we're actually suppressing our brilliance. And this is where you come in as a motivational coach to actually bring out the best in people and the vibrancy and the capability in human nature.
Come on.
Yeah.
Love it.
And look, you tell me if I'm wrong here, Gez. I feel like you're never going to retire.
No, I can't. My mission is this. It is to touch as many lives as humanly possible. And for me, like if they oversucceed me, that's fine. I've done my part to send and place a seed of brilliance I'm like, wow, just seeing them come to life, that is epically awesome.
Yeah. And
To be
this
part of
again,
that, that's amazing.
egoless. And I've said this to my clients, I've said this to a few of them. I see you going beyond me, right? They just started or something in business. I'm like, you are going to make more money than me and you're going to be more successful than me if you pull the finger and pull the trigger. And they look at me going, what? I'm like, yeah. So this is my challenge to you. I want you to be more successful, more well-known than I am. That's your job. And they look at me going, but I'm the one who's more
Yeah.
well-known. And that's where we go when you really care about someone and you see the potential and you see that you don't care if someone's going past you, you care that they're actually getting what they want and they're happy.
Yeah. And that makes you more fulfilled. And that gets me more fulfilled. Like, it's okay. Like, but Jez, that's fine. I'm fulfilled by doing this. Like, this is my mission. Like, and I'm happy. Jez, you're weird. I said, no, I'm not. I'm really happy. Like, I'm really fulfilled. And I think that's right. It's the egoless. It's like when there's no ego, man, you just flow and your brilliance and every giftings that you have, that's you part that to the world.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful.
It is. And one thing I found really confusing, Gez, when I started, I used to be a therapist. I was a therapist for a long time before I started my academy. And my teachers at the time said, okay, these guys are all your competition around you in the suburb that I was in. And I just didn't understand. So what I did was something different. I actually sent clients to them. I said, go and see this naturopath, go and see Alan, go and see Michael, go and see Michelle. And I actually ended up having my team. And all my teacher did was tell me, they're your competition. So I went, okay, here's my team of people that are going to help the people that I know that I couldn't fulfill the need that they had. And what that gave me is a sense of fulfillment that I knew. And then one thing happened. Every single time I did a referral, I got 3 clients that day. And I was just like, what the hell is going on in my world? And I realized that through my lack of competition, I was actually providing abundance in myself.
Yeah.
And I just don't I look at you, Gez, we do the same thing. And I want you to be so successful because I love championing people that I believe in.
Yeah.
And we're not in competition. We do the same thing.
You know what? We need more people like us. That's the thing. Like for me, competition, I don't see the only thing that I see for competition is myself. How can I get better? Right.
Yeah.
But we need more coaches. And that's like, Jez, but they're, I said, no. We need more messengers. We need more people in this world to make a difference. Can you imagine an army of people who are just making a difference in the lives of others? Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Right? So again, it's a different perspective of egoless. And if you have that, you'll become successful.
Exactly. And look, listeners, this is why I wanted to get Gez on my podcast, because if you want to find him, we're going to put all the stuff down on the show notes so we can find people, a person like you, because I might not be the right fit for you. So this, like, you might listen to this right now and go, hey, I want to see Gez. I want to actually find out what he's about, and I need his support, and he's going to be able to provide this better than what I could do. And that's what I really want, because this is the thing, horses for courses. So when we see and meet people, we see a certain vibe, and we actually don't buy based on the service. We buy based on the person.
Yeah.
And I think for you, Gez, you've got this thing about you that I think you're an essential service. And listeners, if you have found something really special in this man, and you feel like your heart has sort of reached something that says, I need to get motivated. I found all these amazing nuggets, because you have thrown like some amazing quotes. Like there's so many quotes in this, because I just started writing. I've got my phone here. I'm just going, oh, there's a skill bomb. There's a wise bomb. There's another massive bomb. You just
The nuclear bomb.
Yeah, you're just throwing all the bombs out of wisdom, and it's done in a way that is not salesy. It's not.
No.
It's helpful based, and that's where we do run a business. We run a business based on help and a desire for people winning. And it's very different,
Absolutely.
isn't it?
Yes. 200%.
So look, Gez, is there one last thing you can give our listeners? Is there one last puzzle piece that you could give? I can squeeze a little bit more of a lemon out of you before we jump off today.
Yeah. So one thing is, if you got a lot of value in today's session, this podcast show with Jason, is say yes to yourself and work out the how later. If you do that, everything will start to align itself because you're speaking again to that subconscious mind and write it out. Whatever you want right now. So if you're listening right now, make it rapid, write your goals right now and believe in it and seek help. You'll get there.
Gez, I really want to thank you so much for jumping on here. So listeners, if you really like this podcast, I'd love it if you could review and share it, and we'll get all the details of Gez and what he does and his magic in the show notes. So go and find him, seek him out, get some help. We all need personal development. It needs to be a number one priority. And Gez, I really appreciate you as a human. I'm so glad that you're on the planet, and thanks for jumping on my show.
Thank you, Jason. I'm super grateful to be on the show. And again, a million thanks to you and what you do in this world. So much love.
Thanks so much for listening to our podcast. We really appreciate you, and we really appreciate your time, because time is so valuable. What we'd love you guys to do, if you like this podcast, if you could share it with your friends, and also our website address for the podcast is www.wellnessbreakthroughacademypodcast.com. Our website is www.wellnessbreakthroughacademy.com. We have a free Facebook group called Wellness Leadership Evolution, so search for that. I'd love it if you could add me as a friend on Facebook. I don't bite, so add me as a friend. And if you want some help and you would really like some support from us in the Academy, jump in. We have a process. You can do a break-in call to connect in with us. We do small courses. We have lots of things that we share. So we'd love the opportunity to give you a chance to change your life and turn it into a free one. You are one transformation away from change. Come and catch up.